three left. Got me ladle. This used to be like my spoon. I'm not even joking. Do some cooking with me. So today I'm going to make homemade pasties. Now this is what I've called them since forever. I've never not known them to be called anything else. I'm very excited. So this is my favourite puff pastry, like ready to go. I have a favourite pastry, and it's this one. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I've let it come out of the fridge for a bit so it's more easier to work with. I have got two, just in case. I might run out. And when I make things, I like to make a decent amount of it. So in my opinion, if you can add it, you know. Cut it in half, just so it's less for me to like work with, because I am a walking nightmare. As in my mind, self-raising flour, because that rises, I think self-raising flour is just going to help the situation. Does it? I have no idea, but it makes me feel better either way. Right, I need my rolling pin. Do that, so that's floured up, and then I like to mush it. He's had enough. The cheek, like that, just so it's, that probably makes no difference, but again, it makes me feel better, so it's just easier, isn't it? Then roll it. You don't want it really thick, but at the same time you don't want it really thin, because you want it to hold your filling, but at the same time you don't want like a great big wedge. Like it's like that. I've got a little plate, I've put a standard amount of flour on there so we don't stick, and then I'm going to go for a bowl. Put it around the edge if you can. Sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends if it's in the right mood. And then just like that, give it a shake so it like loosens it, and then if you can pick the bowl up, that is a struggle. And then just stick it on your plate like that, and then take some more flour, sprinkle it on it so it doesn't stick, and then keep doing that. And then when you end up with like the scabby bits like that around the edge, that's like useless. Re-roll it, recut, then you continuously reusing. Then I'll just show you when I get there, because let's be honest, I'll get really excited. Out of one half, I've managed to get 4. I've got that left over, so when I get to this bit now, when I've like rolled it, got out as many as I can, I'll add that in. See what I mean? Block number 2, so that's from the other half of the second half. Right, I've rolled the pastry, I've got like a stack, right? And now I'm going to get on to my pie pasty filling. So I'm just going to put a drizzle of oil in. I don't really tend to measure my oil or my butter, I just bung it in and see how I get on. And I'm going to use homemade butter because I love cooking with butter, but if I'm going to be picky, which I'm not picky, but I do prefer cooking with homemade butter because I think it's brilliant. Got my favourite spoon. Now this it's got a gonk on it because I love gonks, you probably know, and it says little chef. I'm not even a chef. So I'm just sticking a nice dollop of my buttery stuff. I like to add a bit, then as I go I'll add more if or when it needs it. I just cook by eye really. I don't really like measuring foods. I just bung it in, hope for the best. Beef mince, not 1 but 2, just in case I might run out. I wanted to get a big one, but they didn't have any big ones, so I thought, what can I do? I've got 2 little ones. So this is just beef mince. I'm literally just going to bung both of them straight into my pot and get rid of that. I don't like that. That makes me feel funny. The noises help. Right, with this, I'm literally just going to loosen it off and I'm going to brown it for a while, just so it is cooked before I start. It's like cooking before I start adding other things, because I just want to get this to have a bit of colour on. Whilst that is just starting to brown, that is on 6, isn't it? Yeah, I got some carrots, right? The biggest carrot in the bag. I'm like a snowman gone wrong. But with this, I'm literally just going to, where it's like quite chunky that end, lob it in half, just so it's, I like a soft carrot, I don't like hard vegetables. So, and then I'm just going to go like that, not too big but not too little, enough so you've got it so it doesn't disintegrate, because it's going to cook in the pan, cook in there and cook in the oven. So you don't want it so it's like tiny but also you don't want it massive. The mince is just here. I've got another saucepan on the case. I've had to change it around so I can show you what I'm doing. I've chopped the carrots like that. They're a mix and match, hope for the best situation, you know. That's going straight into the saucepan. A bit of salt. I find they need a bit of salt, and I like food quite salty. And also a sprinkling of sugar to get rid of any potential bitterness in them, because I don't like a bit of carrot either. I've got another pot. I'm going to stick in some hot water which I've just boiled, ready to go. I've got some potatoes. There's all sorts going on today. I've got to get some peas out in a minute. I love a pea, mate. Right, I'm just going to do a bit to begin with so I can add in potatoes. These are just peeled potatoes. So I'm going to go, not too big but not too little. I want them like cubes sort of thing, just like that, and then go down that way. Just random, it hasn't got to be any particular way. It's homemade. Brilliant anyway. Right, I've chopped all my potatoes. I'm going to very carefully get all of the potatoes in and to cook with the chink. Unbelievable. I'm going to put in some salt in the water as well, and I want them boiled. I don't want them falling apart. You want them soft so they're edible like straight away, but you don't want them going to mush, so you've really got to keep an eye on them. Done it in the past where I've ended up making mashed potato. Oh, and now that's sad enough. So I'm still in the middle of browning me meat, and look at all the juices in that's coming out of them. Can you see? That's going to be so much flavour later on. I like the meat where it's got like some of the fat still left in it, because I think when there's less fat in it, there's less flavour in my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but I just think I like to have food to have a bit of taste. I like it with like a bite, but that's just me. Anyway, I've got some onions. I don't know how many I'm going to end up using, but I want to get out the onion goggles right, and I don't know what their problem is, but they've disappeared. And they're very handy. It's like they've done a runner, it's like they've had enough. I've got me mince. I've chopped my onions to that sort of shape. They're like, some are smaller, some are bigger. It's just a bit of mix and match, so you don't know what you're going to get. And I like that element of surprise. I do. I love the surprise me. So that's going to go in. To get it cooking, so there's a bit of flavour starting to cook into it, I'm just going to start off with a bit of salt and pepper, but I'm going to jazz it up in a minute. I'm very excited, to be honest with you. I'm literally just going to mix that through and let the onions start to soften. Start seasoning, so I'm going to get in a bit of this, however much I feel I need, to be honest with you. Each time it tends to differ, depends on how much flavour it's got. And then, I've got my oxos. I love oxos, I really, really do. I've only got 3 left. What am I going to do? When I really do have a bit of an issue, right? Well, if I don't have a stash of oxos, I panic, and I don't actually know why. Normally I've got like, that is full, and then like say 6 or 7 left in the box as like major backup. Literally got 3, like actually don't know what to do, if I'm honest. Really don't know what to do. I definitely don't have any more, so I'm just gonna have a little cry. So starting off, I can have some Worcester sauce, just however much I feel I need. Couldn't make my mind up, could I? So I thought I'd have a bit of both. I like to add this because that gives a bit of like a extra level of depth in your flavour, you know? I don't know, just sort of hoping for the best. Potatoes are all done, so I'm going to go down there, drain them in my holy thing and run some cold water over them so it stops them from cooking, hopefully. And then I now have oxos, but I don't just have some oxos. I've got 48. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, I tried it and it wasn't enough, so I thought, what am I going to do? Go to the shop, so I did. Right, I'm going to get these into the tray, right, and I like to put them all flat and then so I can fit more in. Yeah. In with the carrots, I'm going to add me peas because I love a peas. I love peas. I love a pea. Right, they are frozen, but I'm going to cook them until they're soft. Right, I got me potatoes. I love potato. I do. I just think it goes with practically everything, in my opinion. Well, something. Well, I'd have it with practically everything, to be fair. So that is gone wrong. That is the potatoes. I'm literally just going to tip them in, and because they're soft, but because I don't want them to go to mush, I'm going to very carefully just mix this through so it's all coated. I've tasted it and I think it tastes rather brilliant myself. I've just drained my peas and carrots all in my holy thing. I'm going to tip them in here as well. I'm going to scrape round because I Right, I've just brought over my pasty mixture. I thought we could try it together because I think it's rather good, if I do say so myself. Now, I've made this for years and years and years and years and years. I can't remember not making it, to be honest with you, so it still tastes brilliant. I've got my pastry, this is puff pastry, so with this I've literally rolled it, got a bowl, cut round it, so they're all roughly, well, they should be all the same size, because then to me it doesn't matter if they're all like mix and match, but if you do that, you know you've got like how much you've got to work with. So I have made these on my videos once before, but I don't know obviously who has or hasn't seen them. So I've got my pastry in here. I've got some egg and a bit of milk. I've whisked really fast. Honestly, I struggle with that task. So I'm going to do egg around the perimeter. So that is going to be me like glue to hold it together. Got me ladle. This used to be like my spoon. I'm not even joking. Anyway, I've got in here, we've got the mince which is beef, And then I've got some carrots, because they help you see in the dark and everything. And peas, because I love a pea. And my, potato, which I cooked in some salted water. And some onions. There we go. I really had to think about that. So I like to make sure I've got a bit of everything in each one, because in my opinion, if not, what's the point? Because that one's going to feel left out, because it hasn't got that bit in it. And then I like to pick it up, flop it over. You can use your fingers or your fork, but I like the homemade feel, so I like to go for fingers. And then I have lined the trays, let me show you, with some grease proof. So I'll plonk that just there, and then very carefully pick it up. Can you see? There we go. Then plonk it on the tray, and I'm just going to keep doing that and keep doing that. Then I'll show you when I put the first batch in. So I'm going to do them in batches, so I can do 4 at a time. I can just about manage with 4 at a time, just so you get a little fling the egg, brilliant. Done a bit quicker, really. Right, the first tray is loaded. I'm going to egg wash all of them. Then I'm going to I'll show you, they're not fantastic, but it's homemade, so it's brilliant anyway, in my opinion. Then the first batch is going in. Second batch is going to go in. The first batch is smelling brilliant already. The third and final batch is going to go in, and I've egg washed all of them. The pasties have just come out of the oven. This is batch 1. Now I think they are brilliant. I'm going to very carefully stick them on a cooling rack, and I'm very excited to be honest with you. I started putting them on the cooling rack, then I thought, no, what am I doing? I need to have one. So I've took the nicer looking ones. So I'm going to start off with them to begin. So look at that one. I like the fact it's got holes in it, because to me that just shouts homemade brilliantness. So that is the 3 to begin with. I'm going to have some tomato sauce with it. Then I'm going to show you some of them up close, and I've just splattered tomato sauce up my arm. But that is them to begin with. So this is those 3 up close. What do you reckon? I think they look rather brilliant. I do. So I thought I'd cut one in half with you so you can see what they look like, because I think they're brilliant. I can't remember never not making these. So that is the pastry. That couldn't have gone any worse, could it? That is the inside, and they're brilliant. Quickly try it with you. It all like really goes. You've got the beefiness from the gravy, and you've got like the carrot and the veg cuts through like that bit of sweetness, so it's not all like really savoury. But that is those ones. This is batch number 2. Right, again, I could do the same thing, manoeuvre them and let them start cooling down. This is what these look like. Don't they look brilliant? I really like that one. I've taken a shine to that one. That one is really good. And then that is what we look like inside of them. So there's like a decent amount in there. So it's actually like full. And that is the 3rd and final batch. I'm quite chuffed with them actually. This tray is a bit of a letdown, but the other ones are absolutely brilliant. Thank you ever so much for watching my video. If you've got any suggestions on what you want me to try and make next or have a go at, please do let me know. But they were my absolutely brilliant pasties.